Hi, Zizaran here, and we have gotten a major endgame changes video from Path of Exile, something I was not expecting. I'd sort of quit PoE for this season. I've done like 5 different characters, and I was like, you know what? Time to make like a video on like, this was my experience this PoE 2 season, and I was very happy with the season. Had a really good time. Um, this time I focused on just making currency and trying new builds, and I didn't focus that much on like killing again bosses because that's what I did last season and I got bored very quickly because it's over pretty fast, right? Because we don't really have any new ones except the liches, which were sort of a bit on the weaker side. So I had a great time focusing on that. Got to try out lots of the new builds and just really the crafting is so fun. But now they've dropped a new video majoring game changes. So I have no idea what's happening. I've actually had nothing here spoilered except the thumbnail by GGG saying towers are gone. Spoilers. I'm kidding. Let's watch it.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers from Grinding Gear Games. Now, it's no secret that we need to make some improvements to the endgame, and the plan has been to do some pretty major changes in 040, but we realized it might be nice to iterate on some of the more mechanical changes in 031, and just save the new content for 040. That way we can get a chance to test some of these things a bit earlier. A major concern for players are the mechanics around towers. Players don't like having to find towers to juice their maps, and don't enjoy needing to find multiple overlapping towers to get the best outcomes. In order to fix that, you no longer need towers to use tablets. Instead, tablets can now be placed in the map device to add their bonuses directly to your maps. Each time you use a tablet while running a map, the number of remaining uses goes down. Once it reaches 0, the tablet is destroyed. You can use up to 3 tablets on each map, but the number of enabled slots is based on how many mods the map has.
We have scarabs now? I guess it is more like league stones. You're right. Scarabs / league stones. Okay, this is so shocking to me that I froze. Okay, cool. Sextants. No. They're more like league stones or scarabs. They're not like sextants. Sextants affected an area with many maps and we're studying.
Running a 6-mod map will enable all 3 of the tablet slots on the map device. This change allows you to benefit fully from tablets, no matter what random layout of towers you happen to find. Towers can still be used to gain visibility on the atlas, and they'll also drop an extra tablet as a reward for completing them. Something we've never really been happy with was the base experience of how you complete a map. In PoE 2, we wanted boss fights to feel challenging and rewarding, so we decided to make bosses spawn only in some maps. In all the other maps, the completion condition for the map was killing all the rare monsters. However, we don't really feel this is that enjoyable. It tends to degenerate into just following minimap icons. In order to address this, we're now making all maps contain map bosses. To complete the map, just kill the map boss. You no longer need to kill any rares, and you can do as much or as little.
I mean, obviously, I'm super happy about this. I think that was in my first feedback video, like, can we have a boss in every map? But it will be really interesting seeing the reception to this for me, because obviously I don't know everything in this video yet, but it's sort of turning into PoE 1. PoE 1 Plus. Which, honestly, like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I don't mind. I love PoE 1. So more PoE 1, it's great for me. I'm biased. But I'm really curious how... Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious how most people will feel.
Of the rest of the map as you please. We still want some map bosses to be more challenging and rewarding, though. The existing...
Somebody said in chat, Promar said in chat, PoE 2 turning into PoE 1 is like all things evolving into crabs. It's inevitable. Yeah, I am a big fan of carcinification.
Icons that currently indicate that there's a map boss now instead mean that the map boss of the area will be extra challenging.
Oh shit.
With more rewards and the map tier upgrade.
Oh, that's a great idea.
We also wanted to improve the base experience of mapping in other ways by making sure that there is at least a guaranteed minimum amount of bonus content in each map.
Nice.
As you generate each map, we will now always add between 1 to 3 extra random features.
That's so good because like right now it feels, I don't know, I'm sure you guys agree. It feels so empty when you're doing a travel map with nothing in it, and I'm just like, I just want this map to be over. It's just a travel map. It's like the equivalent of a travel node in the passive tree.
Including Breach, Delirium, Ritual, and Expedition, as well as Shrines, Strongboxes, Essences, Wisps, Rogue Exiles, and Summoning Circles. This content will be added in addition to the content added by your tablets and maps, and will be selected afterwards. This means that if you have a mob that adds an expedition which can't have more than one in a map, then we'll make sure to select something else instead.
Wow.
With both this change and the tower change, content icons for Breach, Delirium, Ritual, and Expedition have been removed from the Atlas. All the content you didn't add yourself will be randomly generated as you go to the area.
Wait, what? Also, so coming in chat. I love how GDD is not listening to the community like every other developer at first, but at least gets it in the end. I don't think they should instantly be listening to our demands and whines, to be honest. Like, even when I'm complaining about things that I feel is very, very frustrating, they should be a bit on the slower side to react. They shouldn't like panic change things. Like, they should be like, well, is it good for the game? Does it fit? Because they do, at the end of the day, have a bigger, like a better overview of the big picture. And I do feel like that's something Blizzard does a little bit too much, where they just listen too much to the community. And for me, that's made a very unenjoyable game. Whereas there's, yeah, I think they do a really good job of listening and not listening to feedback.
The Atlas. All the content you didn't add yourself will be randomly generated as you go to the area. Currently, we believe the time to complete a given map is a bit too long, and so we're lowering it. To start with, we're taking the 15 largest
56 hours
maps and reducing their sizes. We also felt like there were just too many monsters. The size of monster packs in T1 maps was actually over 40% higher than in the interlude area right before it. This also resulted in a sudden difficulty spike at the start of Endgame, if your build wasn't able to handle large packs well. Getting swarmed by monsters is a common complaint in the endgame. To address that, we're lowering the number of monsters and monster packs at the start of the endgame by 30%. As you go through the tiers, the number of monsters will increase, so that
I don't like this. I don't like that at all. Keep listening, okay?
by tier 15, it's the same as it was before. This will also increase the difference between map tiers. We're also making a change that PoE 1
What do you mean keep listening? What? No. What do you mean keep listening? Where was the good part?
will also increase the difference between map tiers.
Tier 15 is the same. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, obviously that was going to be the outcome. That's still terrible for tier 1 to 14. I thought there was going to be a silver lining, like low-level mobs give more experience or not. No, it's not. Keep listening. It gets worse. Right. Yeah, I mean, tier 1 to 14 having less monsters, I don't think that is a good thing. I can understand that people are struggling, though. Like, it will be a good thing for some people, but it's obviously, like, I'm not entering maps on a weak character, so it's a bad thing for me. But yeah, I mean, it's probably not the end of the world.
We're also making a change that PoE 1 already had, where maps with very open layouts have slightly lowered pack density compared to the more closed indoor maps.
But also Forge, what happened there? Like, they need to 5 times, 6 times. They need to fix the mob generation in Forge. I will pause more, okay?
This was done in order to prevent you getting swarmed too much in open maps, and so we're doing this for PoE 2 as well. This should significantly reduce the time taken to clear maps and reduce the difficulty that many players are experiencing as they enter the endgame. Now, there are still a lot of other new features and content that we want to add to the endgame, but we believe that these changes are a good step towards improving the base experience of mapping.
Wow. Wow. The video covers the broad strokes of the changes coming, but there are other changes and details. Although we're covering some of the additional changes included in this patch. Alchemy orbs. With the introduction of tiered currency, alchemy orbs are becoming less valuable and have fewer uses. This gives them more function. To give them more function and to smooth out the process, alchemy orbs can now be used on magic items. This will upgrade the magic item to a rare item, replacing the existing modifiers with 4 new random. Ah. So it's like a mini chaos orb. It is really good for maps. It's a regal chaos. Yeah, I get it. I feel like its still only function is going to be for maps though. I think it is really good, but I think unless it has tiered currency, I feel like tiered currency is too strong for crafting. I mean, it is a good change. It's just objectively a good change. and it would be useful early. It's just a good change. Towers and tablets. As your tablets are now directly applied to your maps, that means that you can apply the content you desire to every single map you run, assuming you have the tablet supply. However, the ceiling for the amount of content has been lowered. Overall, this results in more streamlined and consistent experience, but in order to not have the ceiling come down too far, we've buffed the modifiers on tablets. Generally, the modifiers are approximately 2 to 3 times as powerful, and here are a few examples. Electors are 10 to 30 instead of 7 to 10. Teaming at 25 to 70 instead of 15 to 25. And then off strongboxes. Okay. We have added a few new modifiers. Off the devoted, additional shrine, additional strongbox, additional essence, 1 additional rogue exile. Can I have multiple rogue exiles in a map now? And guaranteed? That's what I'm reading here. So we can actually farm the Heart of the Well. That's huge. They still won't spawn on Abysses? Isn't there an Omen already? No, the Omen is respawns 1 exile. Overrun plus exiles? Yeah, lure them to the Abyss? That doesn't work. 25%, 20 to 50% chance to contain a summoning circle. Do you know, I was surprised how much I like the summoning circle. Here are some other pieces to know about tablets. Unique tablets have their own individual uses. When using tablets in the reforging bench, the resultant item will have the sum of the input. Okay. Yeah, it's like scarabs meet link stones. When in an inventory like your personal one, the number of uses can be seen in the bottom right. Nice. Existing tablets that have been applied to your atlas will remain, and you will not lose any value due to the changes. Obviously, this is just a temporary thing, but doesn't that mean you can giga juice your atlas right now? Like, oh, mega juice it? Like, isn't just anyone that's gonna keep playing is just running to towers now? Some maps are considerably longer than others to navigate or complete, so we've reduced the size of the following maps. Augury, I didn't feel like Augury. Honestly, I feel like Augury is one of the fastest maps. Am I cooked? Am I fucked in the head? I feel like Augury is so fast. Still Bloomingfield for sure. Channel, yep. Epitaph, Fortress, Grimhaven, Hidden Grotto, Oasis, Penitentiary, Rupture, Savannah, Slick. Well, City and Wetlands. Yeah, Augury is actually like, as soon as they fix the awful like 40-second key thing. But I mean, it's probably just better, so. Yeah, Seabridge is really bad. What's the King of the Mist map with the Ice Girl as the boss? That's probably my least favorite. I actually loathe that map. I would just be so happy. Mire. I hate Mire so much. I disdain Mire. It's so awful. It's probably the only map that's a real issue right now. Sun Temple too is pretty bad actually. All of these are really not much of an issue. And there's some issues with Forge where, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen some videos about this too, but like, I think the longest I saw was like somebody ran for like 28 seconds or 30 seconds in Forge without finding a single monster. It was like, okay, cool. As a result of changes such as every map now containing a boss, we had to make some modifications to the Atlas tree. For example, the Crystal Realm notable on the map boss tree, which previously added an additional essence to areas containing a map boss, now only applies to areas with powerful map bosses. Note, this results in effectively no change. It is the same amount of essence as before and after. In general, the map boss tree applies to all bosses, with only a few select notables now applying to maps with powerful bosses. For example, the Fit for King applies to all bosses. Additionally, you'll notice a number of other node changes coming throughout the Atlas tree to account for the mechanical changes. We've tried to make sure that they've kept approximately the same before and afterwards, so will remain the same. Citadels have had their own spawn rate increased by 66%. Yeah, it was a bit low. Other improvements. Modifiers that causes the area to be covered in chilled, shocked, and ignited ground are cause much less ground to be covered. At least 66% of the ground effect currently covering the ground will be removed. The value is higher on low tier waystones. Wow. We have fixed problems where map boss difficulty was not applying to many multi-form bosses. So a few of the maps with deadly map bosses will now be more difficult. It was pretty odd that the second and third phases of some of these bosses had 10 times less life than the first phase. This was an unintentional mistake. Alongside the changes above, the patch contains various improvements and fixes to a plethora of issues, and all those details will be covered in the full patch notes. Do you think we'll get some terraforming orbs? I think we should get an anchoring orb. Like basically like make a new connection. That would be a good one. Like there's so many. the thing is, like, even if it's just a temporary thing until they can make the Atlas generation less bad, I have at least like 11 to 12, maybe more different areas where it's just, I can't go there. And it's a map I want to do. Like, it's very annoying. I think like an anchoring orb or something that makes a road, whatever, would be really welcome, at least in the short term, and it's a temporary thing, but at least until they fix the Atlas generation, because it's so buggy. All right. This is really good. That's really good. These are huge changes. I don't know if that makes me want to play more right now, though. I've sort of done what I wanted to do this league, but this is awesome. Like, I already had such a good time this season, and this is gonna make next season even better. I don't think this is something that brings me back, though. I think I'm pretty much still gonna continue with my plan of playing Hades, and waiting for the next PoE 1 patch. I have been playing Megabong, but this is awesome. This is huge. I love this. Fuck, I am tempted to play a bit more, actually. We'll see. I don't know what I'm gonna do. These are really good changes. I have done most of the stuff that's in the game now. I would say there's more builds I could try. I'll end the video there. Really huge common W from GGG, and really interesting to see if the reception from this is overly positive. I'm assuming it will be, but people always keep saying they don't want PoE 1, but these are very PoE 1 changes. Either way, thanks for watching. Sub if you liked the video, but more importantly, try to die less than I do.